Louis Vuitton is being sued for this bag. Someone's claiming that Louis Vuitton fraudulently markets and advertises leather bags when they're not leather. And luxury brands get a lot of flack for a lot of shit, but this time I might actually be on their side. So this complaint doesn't have really any specifics. It doesn't say how the marketing or advertising is fraudulent specifically. It just says a lot about leathers and non-leathers, leather goods category, things like that, but nothing specific. No links to the website, no copies of print advertising. There's nothing that shows that Louis Vuitton is being fraudulent with the way they market their goods. But the complaint says a lot about, consumers being tricked, misled into believing that they're purchasing bags or items that are leather when they are made substantially of non-leather items. And again, this is the bag that she bought in a different size, but it's a combination of cowhide leather and the monogram coated canvas. And the description says it. Like all descriptions on the Louis Vuitton website, it tells you what you're purchasing and what it's made out of. And I think the complaint conflates a little bit the leather goods category with items that may not be completely leather. And I'm not going to lie, I looked up the attorney, and I'm not a lawyer. I don't practice law. I've never practiced law. I have nothing to do with the legal profession. I used to work in the fashion industry. I did it for almost 10 years, and I've been out of the industry about as long. But, and not for a luxury brand, not for any well-known brand. I worked for a very small brand here on the West Coast. And so I'm not going to lie. I looked up the attorney, and it looks really scammy. I really hope that this plaintiff was not led to believe that she could file what they want to be a class action lawsuit against Louis Vuitton for fraud when there's not really any kind of complaint that couldn't be fixed after she purchased the bag. Because when you look up the attorney who filed this complaint, they have filed many lawsuits in federal and state court aiming for class action status for big businesses like Colgate, Nestle, GMC. They did the Subway tuna not tuna lawsuit, all claiming fraud. And I just hope that the plaintiff in this lawsuit was not just led to believe that let's file this lawsuit and this is an attorney who's just, going in there willy-nilly filing lawsuits against big businesses looking for, that one big fish with a really big payout. I don't know. It just seemed really scammy. And you can look it up. It's all public. I looked it up on Court Listener. But in this case, I don't know. I feel like Louis Vuitton they should just ask for attorney's fees already, because if you read the complaint, there's really nothing in there that's like, wow, Louis Vuitton really fucked up. It's just a lot of Louis Vuitton is fraudulently marketing certain products, and customers would purchase other products if they were told, that it's leather when it's not leather or something like that. But again, I'm not a lawyer. This is just some random layperson's opinion. It was just a really interesting read. And I know luxury brands, sometimes they deserve flack, but sometimes not. And in this case, I don't really know. It doesn't seem like there's anything there. Like, lady, you could have just returned your bag.